Hello everyone, this is Jack Manley from Manelli Studio Comics, and I've got a new comic review for today. We're going to talk about the first volume of Judd Winick's Outsiders, Looking for Trouble. So let's get back and relax and get ready to explore the world of the Outsiders together. There are four stories in this first volume. The first one is the direct aftermath of the Titans' Young Justice graduation day, where Donna Troy dies. This issue sets up all the major players. Arsenal, Roy Harper, former sidekick of Green Arrow, formerly known as Speedy, who wants to put the team back together, but Nightwing, former sidekick to Batman, formerly known as Robin, says no. No more Titans, the team is done. Nightwing and Arsenal are both founding members of the Teen Titans, and both are taking Donna Troy's death pretty hard. They both loved her in their own ways and thought as the Titans as a family more than just a team. This also sets up Metamorpho, who just came back from life but cannot remember his past, and the new hero Thunder, the daughter of Black Lightning. Black Lightning does not approve of his daughter's decision to becoming a superhero, but doesn't stop her. The final big addition is reintroducing Indigo. Indigo was the cause of the graduation day event and also from the far, far future. I personally did not read Graduation Day, but I got the gist of this with this first issue. That brings us to the first story arc, Roll Call. Arsenal convinced Nightwing to join the team. This team will not be a family like the Titans. This team will be a job. The team will be Grace, a super strength bouncer of MetaHuman nightclub, Thunder, a meta born with the power to control her density, Metamorpho, who can turn into different elements. Not really quite sure, but it's pretty cool. And finally, Indigo, the robot who's directly involved with the death of Donald Troy. Nightwing hates the idea of involving Indigo on the team, but Indigo convinced him by saying, "Wouldn't you rather put me in harm's way over anyone else on the team?" Kinda messed up, but Nightwing buys it. Their first mission as a team is stopping Gorilla Grodd and the gorillas from Gorilla City from invading New York City and saving President Lex Luthor. If you don't know, Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain, and he hails from Gorilla City, and he's like a super intelligent gorilla, and I think he has mind control powers, and that's how he's mind controlling all the gorillas and making them attack the city. So the Titans fight him so they can protect the city. During the fight, Jade, the daughter of Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, joins the fight. The team is a little rocky, being a team mostly of rookies, but they win the day and beat Grodd. But they learn Grodd was just a distraction. The Joker infiltrated the President Luthor's safe house, killing all his personnel. The Joker tortures Lex for information about some toys he bought from a company that LexCorp owns. This is the highlight to the whole book. The banter between Lex and Joker was classic. Even though they're enemies right now, they speak with each other as they are old friends. The Joker is actually funny, and it's great to see both of them try to bruise each other's egos. Knowing how to push the right buttons, Lex pushed Joker over the edge, and the Joker is about to execute Lex when the new team stops him. The story ends with Dick and Bruce in the Batcave talking about the new team. This team will be a proactive team. Instead of stopping the bad guy after committing the crime, they will stop them before they can put their plan into action. This team will be called Outsiders. Dick and Bruce share a smile at that name. Outsiders used to be Bruce's team back in the 80s. The second story arc, Brothers in Blood, is about the Outsiders being proactive in taking down the villains before they can go about their evil plans. The team thinks they should go up against bigger villains. Arsenal is the person who finds all the jobs, and with the help of his secret shadowy figure that gives him information, he figures out Brother Blood, the old Titans villain, is behind a secret plan. The thing is, Brother Blood was last seen in a monastery non-verbal, but this was all a ruse, and the Church of Blood is about to come back in a real big way. Brother Blood has 1,000,000 sleeper agents around the world, and when they are activated, they will kidnap 1,000,000 newborns. But before that, Blood breaks out all the prisoners from the Slab, a superhuman prison in the Arctic. The prisoners escape, but the outsiders stop Blood's plan. Blood also gets away, but his own son kills him, becoming the new brother Blood. He will come back in the pages of the Teen Titans by Jeff Johns Volume 2. The final issue is about the real Metamorpho coming to pick up the Metamorpho from the team. It turns out the outsider's Metamorpho is just a piece of the real Rex. The real Metamorpho wants to absorb his double, but in the end, lets him live, realizing this copy of him is alive and deserves to live. This brings me to the characters. The team consists of 7 members, 4 of which are women: Grace, Jade, Thunder, and Indigo, who are actually the powerhouses of the team, which is pretty unique for a superhero team. However, most of the characters are one-dimensional. Jade doesn't do much. She's just the Green Lantern of this team. Thunder does have some pathos with her dealing with her father's unapproval, but that can only take you so far. Grace is the comic relief of the team. She always has something to say, usually putting down Indigo. I guess because of her super strength, she is kind of a free spirit. That leaves Indigo. I can see Indigo as a character I'm the most excited to see grow. She starts as your typical robot from the future, and we can already see her change. I would also call Indigo comic relief. The way she talks everything in a robotic manner and takes everything very literally. I definitely love when she goes over all her favorite hobbies. Indigo is a big silent film fan. Overall, I would say Indigo is my favorite new character. The rest of the cast are Nightwing, the leader, Arsenal, the second in command, and Metamorpho. As I stated earlier, Arsenal is the one who advocated for the team to be created. He is the one who found all the members, the missions, plus the funding for the team to be formed. He is the second in command after Nightwing, but definitely has a voice within the team. Roy is shot and hospitalized by one of Brother Blood's sleeper agents. To take his place, the remaining of the story, both Green Arrows, Oliver Queen and Connor Hawke, make an appearance. He has also have a physical relationship with Grace, hinting they used to be an item before. If Roy is anything like his mentor, this can only end badly. Metamorpho goes through a lot of development within the first 7 issues. Even though he does not remember anything about being a hero in his past, he still acts heroic. When the comrades are joking about killing people, he doesn't. Even though he has no past, he knows right from wrong. Metamorpho becomes the heart of the team, so when he and you, the reader, are told that he is not the true Metamorpho, but a clone of the original, it's heartbreaking. His thoughts and feelings, his power, even his name, are not even his, and he goes through a small identity crisis. But the original Metamorpho saves him, recognizing that his clone is worthy of being alive, that he can also be a hero. But he has to change his name. Metamorpho's already taken. I'm excited to see what will happen with him. I can already tell there's going to be a little romance with Indigo. The final character is Nightwing, Dick Grayson. Dick was hit the hardest when Donna Troy died. This is the darkest I've ever seen Nightwing, personally. I'm used to him being the bright spot of the Bat family in the DC universe, and now he's just as edgy as Bruce. But I do think this is a nice change of pace for the character. Bruce himself wasn't always the Dark Avenger, but when he was face to face with multiple failures, the crippling of Barbara Gordon, the death of Jason Todd, the breaking of his back, it is understandable for Bruce to act the way he does, and that goes double for Dick. He also regrets the forming of the Titans in the first place if it could have avoided the death of Donna. So when the team was formed, Roy promised him this will be a team, not a family. The problem is, Nightwing cares too much. Yes, he's always yelling at his team, telling them to do better or just listen, but he does that to protect them. He does not want any of his team to make mistakes, and if they do, they may die, or worse, cause the death of a teammate. Nightwing took Arsenal's injury to heart. Roy is one of Dick's oldest friends, so he wasn't going to stop at nothing to find and stop Blood. It is hard for Nightwing not to show his compassion. In the final issue, when the team is arguing the original Metamorpho, Dick is the one that noticed that their Metamorpho is not doing well, showing he may not look like he cares, but just like his mentor, Nightwing cares a lot. I also find it funny that Dick keeps being the leader of different teams when Bruce is hardly ever. Yes, Bruce is always a main member of the Justice League, but never in command besides when he formed his own team. I wonder if Dick will open up to his new team, or will he stay like this for the whole run? I also find it funny that the majority of the characters are legacy characters. Nightwing, Arsenal, Thunder, Indigo, who I believe is a Brainiac. Maybe that's a spoiler, I don't know. And even Metamorpho now is a legacy character because there's a real one. I think this shows something that DC has been missing for a long time. You don't see teams of almost characters with ties to the past that much anymore. Besides the Titans, Legacy is the big part of the DC, and I'm happy to see it here. Judd Winick is a good writer. I've only read his Kyle Rayner Green Lantern and his Under the Red Hood Batman work, and I gotta say, I do like him here also. He makes everyone sound distinct in their own person. One of Judd Winick's personal traits is he puts a lot of pop culture references of the day, so that may date the book for some of you. He writes a pretty funny cast of characters that bounce off each other very well. With most of these characters not having their own standalone title, Nightwing excluded, can't wait to see what Winick brings to these characters. I think you can read this book for the cast and not really the missions. Yes, the missions should be fun and exciting, but you really want to root for the outsiders. I would say his best writing in this book, like I've already said, was the interaction with the Joker and President Lex Luthor. That was classic. I also love when writers bring characters they have written into their stories. Winick must have just gotten off Green Lantern and brought over Jade with him, and he must have just started Green Arrow when Oliver shows up here. I just love when writers do this. It really helps the fans become more invested in their work. Winick never truly became one of the top guys of the industry. No disrespect. But he didn't ever reach the likes of Jeff Johns or Grant Morrison, but that's okay. He was part of the age of comic books when writers were still making comics and not movie pitches. So the tone and action just seems just totally different than today. It's just much more fun. Winick writes a pretty fun comic. So, what I like the team dynamic and the idea behind the team. A group of hard-hitting heroes that are going after the bad guys. I like it. But I would like to see more with Grace and Thunder and see what happens with the relationship of Grace and Arsenal. Overall, I would say the first volume is very promising. I'm looking forward to see what type of trials and tribulation the Outsiders go up against. If you want to read a fun series, I would highly recommend Outsiders Volume 1, Looking for Trouble. Thanks for tuning in. If you're a fan of the Outsiders, let me know in the comments below and share your thoughts on the series. In the next episode, we'll be diving into the Outsiders Volume 2. So stay tuned. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date to all my latest content. Until next time, this is Jack Manelli signing off. See you later.